Hello, everybody. There we are. Hope everyone's doing okay. We're going to get started here very soon.
This is going to go great.
It's going to be the best episode of a podcast that anyone's ever done.
I have a good feeling about this.
Mike sounding like this and wearing a t-shirt that where all you can see is living is so perfect.
It says legend. It's a very appropriate shirt. It says legend under it. I can't party tonight anymore. Can you believe it?
Yeah. And, you know,
what a shame. What a shame.
Even if I want to go, other people don't want me there. It's not fair.
Can anyone party if Mike can't party? I don't know.
Yeah.
We got you in a bubble, and then we just roll you there.
Bubble boy.
I can bubble boy it. I'll tell you what, my scale wasn't working. The batteries were out for a couple months. I was just too easy to switch them. After the holidays, I finally switched them. Then I went on that thing. Oh, I feel like a bubble boy now. Oof.
Yeah, the fact that you were too lazy to change the batteries in your scale probably didn't.
Probably a bad sign.
I bought the
You
wrong.
guys hear me? Start cheering.
I can hear that, Jeff.
All right.
I bought the wrong milk. I drink tea and milk a lot because that's the only
You bought milk by mistake.
First glass of
thing
milk.
I can drink.
Delicious malt.
I bought 3% instead of 1%, and I feel fat now. I've been drinking that for 3 days. And I'm like, oh
Camera
man, I'm
keeps
fat.
shaking.
I'm drinking, turning the skin a bitch.
All right. I mean,
Let's do it.
I think we're ready.
Yeah, let's do it. I got a
All right.
dinner.
I'll count us in. Let's go in 5, 4, 3.
Hey, you guys hear me? Start cheering now. Yeah, let's get this over with. Yeah.
Woof. Hi, I'm Mike Minotti, and I am a Nintendog.
I'm Jeff Grubb. I'm a Nintendog.
And we are the last of the Nintendogs, and we're doing great. Today, what's the Switch game of the year? That's what we're doing. That's the show.
That's the whole thing. Oh, no. Am I losing my voice? What's happening? Okay, wait. No, it's back.
Yeah, are you catching it?
I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah, I'm feeling a little under the weather. It's New Year's Eve. No New Year's Eve parties for me. You know what, Jeff? There's been enough parties.
That's right.
Fine.
Everybody was too busy celebrating me winning the consolation tournament in our fantasy football league.
Oh, you shut the hell up. I won it. I won that whole thing. I'm going to go to some retro game store and buy some $200 retro game with my winnings. It'll be a waste of money, and I'll love it.
Yeah,
It'll make me feel something for 30 minutes.
You earned it by, not drafting your team and
Auto draft, yeah.
Yes, and just letting it ride. Man,
I was looking. I did like one of the fewest amounts of transactions for the year.
Yeah, it turns out your team was just the right one.
Not only did I have the most points for, I also had the least points against. So I just really cruised through the season.
A charmed fantasy football life over there.
Yeah, so that's something. So maybe this here is a little karma, this karma cold I have. I don't know. I just took a COVID test. It said no. I'll take another one tomorrow to make sure. But I think I just have a cold or something like that. It's weird, Jeff. I haven't really been able to talk to you for a while since we had that week off from the holidays. It's weird talking to you like twice a day on some kind of podcast form. And then all of a sudden, things have happened. I haven't talked to you since you were on that train that derailed.
Yeah, I guess most people haven't heard the details. Yeah, I was on a train that derailed. We go on a Christmas train each year, and it's just a family tradition. They pretend they take the kids up to the North Pole or whatever, and then Santa gets on the train. We take pictures with him. It's nice. It's great. I like it a lot. Except for when it goes off the rails that it's supposed to be on. That's not as fun. We were pulling into the North Pole. Our car, which is a few cars back, was just beginning to see the decorations and some of the volunteers who were dressed up like elves waving at the thing when it started rocking and jolting in a way that felt I'd never felt that on a train before. So I did immediately grab Emmy. I'm like, I don't want to panic anybody, but this could be a worst case scenario. So let's just be careful here. And it just kind of slowly skidded to a stop. And then I looked out the window. I was like, oh, we are very, very off the tracks here. That is, we're not even a little bit on the tracks. The last car was just kind of hanging half on, half off the tracks. Now, it sounds scarier than what it was, really. I guess we were lucky because it didn't tip over. It was like leaning to one side, not pretty extreme, but like 10%. You could feel it. It was awkward. But had it tipped over, it would have been a real hot mess. It would have been really bad.
Well, do you know what happened?
I
Why
still
it did
don't.
this?
No, I still. So this was the last.
It was snowy that day.
It was a little snowy but it was like it got way snowier later on. So I don't know. It wasn't too bad when we were going. But they've run that thing in the snow all the time. They've done it for many, many years. And this was the last train event for the season for this thing where they're going to take people to the North Pole. We were on the very last one. And this is the first time this has ever happened. So it was very strange. So much so, this is the first time this has ever happened that they didn't really have a plan for what to do when we did derail. Like, there was no plan to get it back on the track, which that's probably
what you do.
Yeah, like, that's a lot. I get that. But what to do with us? So when we were on one of the train cars that was leaning, so they made us all get up right away and get out of there. And it was like, oh, are we just going to be standing in the aisle here of another car until you figure out what to do with us? No thanks. And so as soon as they said, hey, if you want to get off and try to get an Uber, there's a winking lizard right here. You could just walk off. And so I'm like, yes, we are doing that. You guys, Steph and the kids, go in here, get some food. Steph, get a beer. I will go to get an Uber and take that to the car, take that to the van, come back. And that took like an hour. But we were able to get it done. And by the time we got home, I'm pretty sure most people were still just sitting on the train waiting for the buses to come pick them up.
That was the thing to do. Winking Lizard's a very fine Northeast Ohio kind of, bar and grill establishment that I enjoy a lot. Very good barbecue
better
sauce.
B-dubs or whatever, yeah.
I just feel bad because you loved this. This is like your tradition. You love doing this every year. You always talked about looking forward to it. And I don't know if everyone's going to be game for it next year.
Yeah, it's definitely Steph and the kids are a little bit less enthusiastic about it now. And I get it. We'll see how people are actually feeling next year. But maybe it's like, okay, maybe we could just do a new tradition now. That seems like the most likely thing. Yeah.
Out. Yeah. Well, I'm glad nobody heard. How was Christmas?
It was great. It was a good time. It was busy. Trying to keep up with everything, but got the kids a lot of stuff, and that was a lot of fun. How about you?
Yeah, no, it was good. It was good. I have a Star Trek: The Next Generation themed train set now.
Ooh.
So yeah, I got to figure out where to put that, but I'm excited about that. Lots of friends were in town. There was a party at my friend's house on the 26th, so that was great. So yeah, it was a ton of fun. Did a lot. Had a good time. I always really look forward to the holidays. So it's always like a little weird coming down from it.
Yep.
For me in some ways, right? And like I try. I want to be one of those people like, no, it's like there's 12 days of Christmas. It's still Christmas.
I know.
But
it never works.
It never works. I go so hard, like on the 26th. I even had that Christmas party on the 26th. I'm a little bit like, I'm not turning the tree on today.
Yeah, it's done. Yeah, the magic is gone. Yeah, it sucked because it wasn't just the train derailing. I also got sick on Christmas Eve, so I couldn't go to the other tradition that I love, hibachi. We go to Hibachi Grill every Christmas Eve, and I'm sitting at home while everyone else is having a good time and getting good food and drinking Sapporo and stuff like that. So that was a bummer, and then I was pretty lethargic on Christmas Day, so I didn't even get to fully enjoy Christmas itself. So I have been trying to I could still watch a Christmas movie here or there, but it's definitely not the same. I'm like you. I like to enjoy it a lot, and it's always a bummer when it's over.
Well, speaking about bummers, why don't we talk about the year the Switch had in 2024?
Yeah, absolutely. Let's do it.
I thought that we could kind of figure out what the Switch game of the year is here, and it's kind of it's interesting even thinking of the contenders, right?
Yeah, it's thin.
It's a weird year. Like, was there something before Princess Peach Showtime?
I don't know. So there's NES Championship Edition, Zelda, Princess Peach Showtime, Mario and Luigi Brothership, Super Mario Party Jamboree, and what else?
The 1,000-Year Door.
Emio.
Emio, yes.
Emio. You forgot about Emio.
I forgot about
Another
Emio.
code, recollection.
Yep. Okay.
Yes. there's some games here that probably are good, not necessarily ones that I checked out. There's kind of a lot that I just didn't check out this year, to be honest. And part of it's like, a pure visual novel, maybe not something I really wanted to dive into with MEO. And then like some stuff that I would have been interested in, the response was just so muted, like with Princess Peach Showtime. And then surprisingly with Brothership, right? I was looking forward to Brothership. I haven't heard a single person be enthusiastic about Brothership. I hear people like, it's good-ish, but that kind of thing. And I'm like, well, I don't really know how excited I am to play this now.
It's no sticker star, but it's no 1,000-Year Door either.
Right. So I guess I'll just ask you, like, what was your favorite Switch game of the year?
So it's a toss-up between two very weird ones. It's either NES World Championship, which I guess is it's not weird for me, but it has its issues, and everyone is always, the first thing they do is point out those issues, rightfully so, with that game.
Sure.
And the Nintendo Online playtest. That thing was like at least super interesting, so I kind of want to lean towards that. It was a couple of weeks
about that.
Yeah, it was a couple of weeks where you could actually play that thing, and we went in there. I brought the kids in. They keep asking me about it, like, when can we play this thing again? Like, I don't know. They haven't even said anything about it. They're weird. Get used to weird Nintendo kids. I'm gonna go with Nintendo Online playtest for my Nintendo Switch Game of the Year.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't get to play that one, unfortunately. I did like Nintendo World Championship. I don't know if I quite liked it as much as you, but I know what you mean. Like, it's one of those games people like to point out the flaws. I know we feel like that with the Mario Strikers game, which I still feel I see come up all the time as some terrible game.
Yeah, it's like some atrocity.
It always confuses me a bit that people are that upset about it. For me, I definitely liked 1,000-Year Door probably the most, and it was just a remake, but it is a very good remake, especially as far as one-to-ones go. And that's probably like the only pure Nintendo one I felt super strongly about. I'm still only a third of the way in Echoes of Wisdom, and I want to go back and play it. I like that game. I just, for some reason, I'm having a hard time being very enthusiastic of diving back in after I kind of took a break to probably play Metaphor Refantasio, right? It's kind of a weird game to get back into. Then Unicorn Overlord's one that I did play on Switch, and it actually worked very well in there. That's such a weird game for me this year, because I played that whole game, and it's a relatively long game, like 40 hours or something. I wouldn't have played through all of it if I didn't like it, and I did really like it while I was playing it. But then once I'm done playing it, I just don't find myself thinking about it all that much. And, like, when I think about games of the year, sometimes it really is just as simple as think of game and, like, what is the feeling that I get? I just don't get that much of a feeling when I think about Unicorn Overlord anymore.
That matters. I think that's important for measuring up a game, like especially when you are a few months removed from it. If it's not stirring you that much anymore, it's like, it was great that I had that experience, but if it's not sticking with you, it's not sticking with you for a reason.
Right. It's worth saying that Prince of Persia Lost Crown worked really well on Switch, actually,
yes.
right?
I mean, honestly, if I'm being real, that's probably my favorite game I played.
Is Prince of Persia Lost Crown just the Switch Game of the Year?
I mean, it is the best game that came out on Switch this year, I think.
I think it might be the best game that came out on Switch this year. Dead Stop. It is either that or Paper Mario for me.
Mm-hmm.
But Latra also came out on Switch. I didn't play that version, but I heard a lot of people said that version was good. So gosh, if it's not 1,000-Year Door for me, it probably just isn't a Nintendo game this year. It is weird, because I think going into this year, I was expecting a slow year for Nintendo.
It was slower than we expected, I think.
Right, but then, like, they had some directs and stuff. I'm like, oh wow, they have this still. Actually,
yeah, that's what it was. It was we got our hopes up for several games that turned mostly to fizzle out.
Mm-hmm. As there was that direct where they announced Brothership and the Zelda Echoes of Wisdom. I was like, whoa, didn't think they had this up their sleeve. Right. And those games were both, they didn't super deliver. They weren't crazy.
I like Echoes of Wisdom a lot, but it's just,
Yeah.
it's I don't like it as much as the Link's Awakening remake, which I don't like as much as Link Between Worlds.
Right, exactly. It's not going to be in my top 10. Is sort of what. Dragon Quest 3 HD 2D. I'm curious because I did not play that on Switch because I heard It's a small thing, but the frame rate's just not as good as it is on other versions. And that was enough for me to be like, well, I'll just play this on my ROG Ally then instead and have it at 60 frames per second. But I bet it was completely fine playing it on there. Again, as much of a frame rate snob as I am, turn-based RPGs isn't exactly the most dire one to have that for. And I mean, you can make that complaint with Thousand Year Door Remake. That was the one thing that was less than in the original. It was with 30 frames per second instead of the 60 that we had on the GameCube. So gosh,
I do have a bunch from podcast producers. We don't have to read them all because it is kind of not a lot here. Do we want to just kind of scroll through them and call them out as we see some that are worth talking about?
Yeah, you go ahead and maybe say some of these out loud.
Okay, yeah, let's start here. Yeah, with Chris 2K, who says Emio the Smiling Man. Yeah, I just want. You're right. A straight up visual novel is one that is got a little bit of a hurdle for me to even try. Not that I would dislike it, on its merits, but I'd have to try it first, and I have not done that.
Right. I definitely need I'm not directly opposed to it entirely, but it's going to be a hard sell for me if it's not. Like Phoenix Wright is a great example, mostly visual novel, but you kind of tricked me into thinking it's a point-and-click adventure game, right?
Right.
And I'm just a little bit happier.
Right, exactly. Let's see. Jamie H. Christmas Eve says Unicorn Overlord. Dirachi said Dragon Quest III HD 2D remake. Nick Turbo and Screaming Madden both said Thousand Year Door. Bench JC said Zelda Echoes of Wisdom. Jim said Balatro, which is very good on Switch, actually. You just use the touchscreen. It's very good on there.
See, I never played that on anything but Steam.
Right. Yeah. It's great everywhere, it turns out. Chuktowski says Horizon, Lego Horizon Stories or whatever it's called.
That's a pretty funny pick.
Yes, it is. That's pretty wild. That I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot that happened. Dr. Ryan said Super Mario Party Jamboree because he's sick.
I had fun when we played this. I only played it that one time, to be fair, though, too.
It's definitely a pretty decent Mario Party, and in hindsight, when I'm not being forced through the ringer, it's like, yeah, this is actually pretty good for one of these. Bopiana Jones actually agreed with that. Says Jamboree as well. Let's see, Symbiosis says.
This is Unicorn
Overlord. Yeah, Unicorn Overlord. Okay.
Lex, I like Lex saying, hey, don't forget about me, which is ironic because he's a incredibly forgettable character. I mean, a lot of them are here, but especially Lex.
Pillar says Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown.
God, what a good game.
Have you played the DLC?
No, and I feel like I should.
Yeah,
I'm not usually a DLC person, but gosh, that's good stuff.
5-Day Rental said Alarmo.
Wait a second. I love Alarmo.
Should we just make Alarmo our Nintendo Game of the Year? I love my Alarmo too.
Honest. When I bought it, I was like, oh, I'm kind of feel stupid for buying it. I don't feel stupid anymore. I don't feel stupid anymore. I love that thing. It's the best alarm clock ever I got. I think it's a ton of fun. We got our first downloadable alarm set with the Mario Kart stuff. I hope we get more. Alarmo gets 2 thumbs up from me.
Yeah, all right. It's on the short list for Game Mess's Game of the Year. Let's see here. Sludge Reinhold says Sonic Shadow Generations. Input name here.
That was very good. I like Sonic Shadow Generations a lot. I haven't played the Switch version. I don't know if there's issues with it. I imagine the frame rate's not quite as smooth. But that Shadow campaign they added is actually a ton of fun.
You played the whole Shadow campaign? Excuse me.
I didn't quite finish it, actually, no. I meant to.
Input name here said Unicorn Overlord. T-Money OG said Thousand Year Door. Steiner said Dragon Quest III HD 2D.
Gotta love that because this game's art looks so good.
It looks really good. Squirrel Girl #1 fan said, "This is Furukawa, president of Nintendo. We will make an announcement about the successor to the Nintendo Switch within this fiscal year," and that's their favorite Nintendo release of the year.
Here we go. Let's break things up right now with that conversation. January. You think the announcement's happening? I mean, the leaks are getting kind of out of control. Even for what I expected the leaks to be, they're getting a little out of control. They must want to announce this thing sooner rather than later.
I would think so, yeah. But sooner's happened a bunch of times, and they still haven't done it. And it's later several times now. Yeah, probably in January. The reality is, these leaks are not taking much steam out of their sales. Steam doesn't go into sales. That's not how it works. But the thing is, it's always going to be about the games. So they can still kind of hold off until they're ready to talk about the games. So while I think January is possible, Nintendo could be weird. It could go all the way to the end of March before we actually hear about it.
All right.
Let's see.
I believe
here. Okay, Big Tony has there we go. Big Tony has me holding the physical copy of Balatro for the Switch. Yep, that was it's a pretty good release. Mr. Bowler, Splatoon 3 expansion pass, side order, I believe is what that's called.
Is this the roguelike one?
It might be. I don't know.
Yes, it is.
Okay, it is. Thank you.
Cool. I should have played that.
I should try that then. K Schlink says Crypt Custodian.
I don't know this one.
I've heard people talk about it on podcasts, but I don't remember the details. Allie Miracle says 1,000-Year Door in his...
Did you get you got your Yoshi in the game, right?
I did get my Yoshi, yes.
I love my Yoshi.
It's a good boy.
I think I got an orange. I think I got a... Did I get a black one? Or I think I got a white one this time.
I think I got a green one, actually.
I might have got an orange one.
Astro Wolf 5 says Tetris Forever. That is a good call. That's... really, really worth playing and watching all the documentary stuff done by Area 5. They really crushed it. Wiesman says the new Dimpa Men. We should still make Dan play this and call it the new Dimpa Men.
The new Dampa Man?
Yeah. All right. Bikes and Brews said Super Metroid. There you go.
Always a good choice. Always a good choice.
Adam Juice says Story of Seasons, A Wonderful Life. Frank343 says the Nintendo Online Playtest Program. There you go. Always Be Clothing / Corgi says the Marvel vs. Capcom Fighting Collection Arcade Classics, and has a reaction image of both Sean and Mike losing their shit.
Yeah, that was like one of my favorite moments of the year. Is I'm just announcing this thing. Oh my god, this GIF is great.
Yep.
I'm freaking out. I got to actually play the Switch version of this at a Christmas party, and it's great. It works great on Switch. I think I'm actually gonna buy like a physical copy of that Switch version. This collection rules, and shout out also to the Dominus collection. Like those were two of the things I was like. Dom's collection is one of the things I played on my Switch the most this year, and the Mars Capcom Fight collection also fantastic. So shout outs to good collections.
James Pies says Balatro. Germ says, is this the Nintendo Music app? Yes.
That would be the Nintendo Music app.
Nintendo Music. 3x champ Beefhammer says Suicide Squad? What is this?
What is this?
No, that's
That is
Balatro.
Ben
That's
Starr.
Oh my god,
That's
is that
Jim
Ben
Ben.
Starr as a Balatro
That's
Joker?
Jim Ben.
Oh my god.
That man.
Jim Ben.
Joy Z says Mother 3. Yep.
No, that's right. I think it added to the Japan NSO, huh?
That's wild. Lenny Cool Dick Denver says Yeez 10 or Yeez X in Nordics.
It's 10, and the fact that you said X hurt me.
Yeah, listen, every time I say 10 for when I see an X, you guys yell at me that in that direction.
How do you not know there's 10 Yees?
Yeah, well, I do know there's 10 Yeez, but there's also like 10 Mortal Kombats, and if I say Mortal Kombat 10, everyone gets mad.
Well, that's fair.
If it's edgy, you say X. Like for Mortal
Okay,
Kombat,
you know,
say
that's
X.
a good
If it's
rule.
like
All
Hermes,
right.
Yeah.
you say
All right, now I know better. Low Rules says Echoes of Wisdom. That's pretty good to have Zelda holding a chair. Germ says Vampire Survivors Ode to Castlevania DLC.
Have you played this DLC? I know Dan really likes it.
I've
I kind
not.
of want to try it.
I should. Boy, I like Vampire Survivors. Vanderlyle says Balatro. JD Camp says Shake Your Butts and Fight for Two.
Ketsu Butler is a hilarious action game in which players fight by shaking their butts. What? I don't remember this.
Well, and you put the Joy-Con in your butt? Well,
wow.
Kind of tuck it in your pants here. Okay, well, we can make that happen. That'll be a live show thing.
Chef's gonna run with you gotta give us like some bonus because you're gonna win. Like you want to win everything. You know what I mean?
Yeah, then I got that cake. Sakelin says Annabelle Well. Johnny Boy says Lorelei and the Laser Eyes. Villain Mac says a tumbleweed going across the desert. Fair. That's completely fair. Mex says Animal Well. Adam Asleep says Echoes of Wisdom. What is this? This is cute. Man.
Yeah, they released all those like stop motion videos for
yeah.
Echoes of Wisdom. Yeah.
Oh, it's very cute. Days and Bot says Balatro. Tommy Pencil says Leisure Suit Larry, Wet Dreams Dry Twice.
Just an incredible name.
Just it's like if you could name something an assault. Then
Yes, if a name could be a crime.
yes. Laser Wolf says Unicorn Overlord. Caleb L says Another Code Recollection. Hammond of Texas still saying Arms. Never gonna stop saying Arms. Shoji Kodo, 1000X Resist. Have you played 1000 times Resist?
All I've ever seen of it was that little bit that you and Nikki played on Giant Bomb before
God.
realizing
Okay.
that it wasn't a Subway Surfers like and playing something else.
Well, yeah, at least we showed you, and so you don't have to play it yourself now. You can avoid the pain that we had.
Oh, come on.
Oh my God, you're poking the bear, motherfucker. So careful there.
Jinko says Pentiment, which, hell yeah, that's a great Switch game.
That's the Switch release this year, yeah.
Ed says MEO, The Smiling Man. That was the subtitle there. Yeah. Josh L. Page says Echoes of Wisdom, only to... behind it is Unicorn Overlord. There you go.
There you go.
Stinky also says Unicorn Overlord. Lots of Unicorn. Yeah. This is our...
popular choice here. I get it. It's definitely like... Talk about Switch games. It would definitely be in my top 5, sure.
Jedi Moss says Echoes of Wisdom. Chaos Bucker says MEO. Sean says Fighting Collection. Marvel vs. Capcom. And Christian says 1000 times Resist. All right.
Yeah. It's funny because I look at this. I'm like, yeah, there's some good games here. I just think not a lot of them are Nintendo games. Except, there was still a good amount of Echoes of Wisdom representation here. 1000 Year Door showed up. There's like some interesting things like the some people said Mario Party. We got that Splatoon DLC. But I mean, I think it's fair to say, and it's not some terrible year. I wasn't like the whole year getting angry about the lack of releases on the Switch, but probably the worst year we've had.
Yep. Yeah. And it's it could afford that because it had so many great years. There was plenty of chances to catch up on older games and stuff like that on the Switch, or just play something else entirely, which is mostly what I did.
Yeah.
And that was
I do think that for me, probably the best game that came out on the Switch this year is Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown. And if you wanted to not do multi-platform, you want to do exclusives, then I would just say Paper Mario: 1000 Year Door.
Yep. Yeah, I think. I'll say, like, my real thing is Prince of Persia, and then like if I had to pick one that was released by Nintendo, the real answer probably is NES Nintendo World Championships. That was just my kind of game.
Nobody in the chat even brought that one up, or
yeah,
the Discord thing.
It's it's the most boomer game imaginable.
I guess so.
It really just is, and I've had to accept that, and I actually refuse to accept it. I'm going to be toxic about it instead.
I like that. Let's double down on that.
Yeah,
I appreciate it.
We're getting toxic in 2025. That's what I'm going to do. I'll get Jan to make it a thing.
Finally.
Why the fuck now?
Yeah, punching down.
So, I think officially then, the last of the Nintendogs Switch Game of the Year 2024 is Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown.
Yes, it is. Congratulations to Prince of Persia. Mikey, we have some super chats. You want to just read those and get out of here?
Well, I want to do that. I want to talk about a couple things we've been playing. Why don't we take one break right now? I got to maybe go to the little boys' room.
Sounds good. All right.
We are on the break right now. Run.
Only 7 years left for the Year of Shadow. Or 7 hours left. Jesus.
We can go 7 more years.
7 more years of Shadow, everybody.
I'll go 7 more years. Yeah, let's go. Let's go for let's change the shadow though every year. Like let's do now it's Shadow the Hedgehog. The next year it's just gonna be like a Shadow,
Is Shadow the name of the ninja
Shadow
from Final Fantasy VI?
Yeah, that was.
Okay. Well, there you go.
Yeah, Shadow the Ninja. There we go.
All right.
We do deserve 7 years of Shadow. Just take away the sun.
Boom, 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 boom.
That game is fun, by the way. I'm just getting around to Shadow Generations, and it's good stuff. Sonic Generations is like one of the best Sonic games, so they just did more of that.
Just put that on in front of the kids and see what happens. Because they're like,
it is comically edgy. Like they just leaned into it, so I don't know how well that'll go over.
Love
if you're gonna ruin the life.
Alrighty. Are you okay reading the super chats, Jeff?
Yeah. Let's let me get that in front of me.
Oh, thank you for all the submission to the thread. It was like pretty short notice.
Yeah, that was great. It was a ton. Thanks, everybody.
Yes. Sorry for the random time today. Originally, we did this because I wanted to go to a party later, and now we're doing it so I can go to bed after this.
Mike, bring it back in whenever you want.
All right.
Don't forget to shout out your list, Mike, that you put up today, the John Bomb list. There we go.
Oh, did you get the Minotti Brother ones? Okay.
The Minotti Brothers up today, yeah. All right, Jeff, we're back. Would you please read the super chats?
Absolutely. From El Grug. Happy Beef Week. Is it Beef Week?
It is. It's always beef week in your
It's always
heart.
beef week, and you're right. Hey, how was your barbecue?
Oh, it was great, actually. Yeah, yes, thank you so much, Jeff. Yeah, I probably should have messaged you about that
Nah, it's
more,
all right.
but
It was a gift.
yes,
You're
those
right. Well,
burnt
no, it was a
ends.
gift. It was a payment. I lost a bet. You don't have
It's
to thank
true.
me for that.
The burnt ends are fantastic. The sauce is good, and the fry seasoning is very, very good. So I've been using the fry seasoning on almost everything lately, honestly. But yeah, it's great. I still, gosh, the way I did it too, I really liked. I just boiled the bag, then actually put them in like one of those like metal tray things, and I tossed them in the sauce, and then put them in the oven for a bit to kind of let the sauce tack on a bit. I like that.
Oh, sure, yeah.
They were very good. I because there's 3 bags in it. I cooked 2 bags right away, which is almost maybe too much, but I have 1 bag left, so I'm saving that for an occasion. Yeah, so
Yeah, they had a deal, so I got you a free extra pound there, and I was like, I had to spend a certain amount. I'm like, let's just go for it. You get you.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, you got a good amount
It
there.
was very, very good.
Yeah, we had ours on Christmas night, and basically every meal for like the next 3 days was just that, and it was, God, it's so good.
Right.
It's
And
Casey Joe's, everybody. Get it delivered. It really is as good as Dan says.
Yeah, it was great. And it was nice because like just the way it worked out, I didn't actually have anything going on Christmas Eve, so that was like something to make Christmas Eve special.
Oh,
was just
exactly,
cooking that
yeah.
thing up, right?
Yeah.
So that was good.
I got to do one of my traditions, and that was that. From Stinky, I had one of the best years of my life and listened to the Beefiest Boys every week across dozens of. Let me see. I got cut off here. Across dozens of pods. Lots of milestones completed. With a bright 2025 on the horizon. Wish this community the best. Well, we're happy to hear that, Stinky.
Thank you. Yeah, glad you had a good year. Gosh, I had a pretty wild year myself. There was so much traveling. I got to go to Germany, went to London with Dan. We went to both PAX this year. Did panels. Do you know? Can you believe that Mortal Kombat Mythologies Mike McQuanchy was 2024?
No, you skeeted that the other day or whatever it was. Wherever I saw that happened this year, and I had a hard time like really reconciling with that. Like that does not feel like this year.
So I did that. I did those speed runs for all of that this year. That does not feel like it happened. We had the incredible Extra Life stream from Dan's. I had a great time with the Final Mix this year. So then the Game of the Year stuff that's coming out now. So yeah, pretty wild year. Got to do a lot of fun stuff, a lot of traveling. I beat Dark Souls 1 and 2. That's right, Fire Hair. So yeah, thank you everybody. Especially this show. Last Nintendogs did see some growth this year. It's almost like on parity with Game Mess in terms of views now, even though it's been kind of a slow year for Nintendo, right? So that's been nice to see. So thank you everybody. Yeah,
there used to be a thing called Chartable that would keep track of podcast rankings. They got closed down. There's probably some other source now, but by midway through this year, like both Game Mess Decides and Last of the Nintendogs were both in like the top 50 for video game podcasts on iTunes every week, and really a lot of times they both be in the top 25. So pretty good year, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in.
And I won fantasy football.
And he won fantasy football. Yeah, I think of all the stuff we did this year, you winning fantasy football is the most important one to me.
You also won $10,000 on a parlay.
Yes, that's right. I did. That's right. Yes, that's right. And actually, I had a little bit left over, and I've been just playing around with that, and did very well with the Lions last night. I'm like, I'm just going to go in all in the Lions because again, it's funny money. I already took my money off, paid my credit card bill, so I'm just going to ride or die with the Lions, and if they win, it'll be even better. All right. Chrono Rig says, "Hey dogs, I heard from the most reliable leaker that Miyamoto will pop out of the New York Times Square ball at midnight and show his Switch 2. Yeah, that has to happen. It's the only way to
his Switch 2. Like not saying his Switch 2 instead of the Switch 2 makes it sound dirty.
Now to be fair, I think Chrono Rig did write the Switch 2, and I switched it in my head to his Switch 2. So
you made it dirty.
So I think I made it dirty. I'm a damn New Year's Eve pervert. Cody Bishop, I thought today was Saturday, and I got confused. Anyway, I recommend A Complete History of Earth by the YouTube channel Paleo. Is it Paleo? Paleo Analysis. Happy New Year.
I think I've been watching that. I've been getting a lot of similar videos suggested to me lately.
I think they've really dialed the algorithm for these kinds of videos in like the last
Yes.
couple of months, where it's like not just, it's like all about people who do a lot of research getting the juice now. So I guess good for them.
Yeah. Is it paleo analysis?
It's PAELO analysis is how it's written here.
Paleo.
Is that paleo?
Yeah. What else would it be?
Because there's no E after the L there. So it's,
There isn't. Oh, I'm seeing the way
yeah.
I see it, it's paleo. Okay.
Chuck Towski, Happy New Year's, boys. Even to Christian, 2025
Wow.
predictions. Balatro clones with real money. Old Pokemon games hit NSO. Dan feels the flames of Blight Club hell licking his heels as he tempts fate. Penis.
Penis.
Well,
Penis.
that's definitely my prediction for 2025 as well as penis. Yeah, all these things are possible. Old Pokemon games hit NSO. Maybe that's not possible. I don't know.
Not even remotely.
Yeah. It's nice to dream, though. Nice to want things. Closed Forum says, I've never been here live. This is my New Year's tax.
There you go. Thank you so much. See, that's what's fun. We go on random times sometimes. People who normally can't make it are here.
Yeah. I'm glad you could tune in this time at least. Chowbot, Happy New Year's, guys. Have some beef and cheddar on me. Thank you so much. We appreciate it. Love all the great work you guys do. No question, but please say something nice about each other and bring some positivity into the new year.
Jeff, most people, when they wear sunglasses inside, look like giant assholes. You only look like a tiny asshole.
Thank you. I've always wanted to look like a tiny asshole. That's my whole aesthetic.
Oh.
Mike, you have a beard.
Thank you.
Wow.
That's true.
Yeah.
No, you're
Mike,
very good at fantasy
Mike.
football.
That's
All
true.
right.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, what are you saying, Christian?
You said that like you're starting a list, and then you just stopped. You just stopped after that.
You know, that list of things.
I was about to say, Mike, you're really funny, and it's really fun to be around you. And Chef, you have a big ass.
Thank you.
There we
I'm
go.
caked
Thank you,
up. That's all
Christian.
right. Never mind.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Christian's here for us. Big Fresh 37. Only 7 hours left for the year of Shadow. Now that's like
shit.
not with that attitude, right? Or with that attitude, yeah, we can keep it going if we truly wanted to.
I'll tell you what, I think that the Year of Shadow was a bigger hit than I was expecting, right? That
Yeah,
movie
hey.
did well. That game was pretty good. Congratulations to Shadow the Hedgehog. I feel much more positively about Shadow the Hedgehog right now than I ever have in my life.
You heard it, everybody. Mike is committed to watching Shadow on Paramount Plus. What show? What channel is that on? What?
The movie is,
No,
Paramount would be Paramount.
Yeah, the show. Like, was it or was it Knuckles?
That's Knuckles. Nobody
uh,
wants. No, that show's apparently bad. I'm not watching Knuckles.
All right, it's not the year of Knuckles. Never mind. You don't have to touch
Knuckles
that.
is barely on that show too. Like that's what.
Yeah, so it's mostly about that Wade character.
Oh, okay. Well, the year of Wade is what I'm looking forward to then. G-Man Sir says, "Oh, I was enjoying my break from y'all." Well, we fucked that
too
up.
Bad.
Yeah,
We're
so-
back.
Here it is. El Grug, what's Jeff's stress level for Lions versus Vikings? I think their defense is injured, completely injured from top to bottom. So it's not great, but I'm going to that game, and I'm just going to try to enjoy it. Looking
go.
forward to that.
Speaking of things to do soon, I think Awesome Games Done Quick is like next week, and we have press passes.
Oh, man. Okay. But yeah, I should try to go to that too. All right. Well, I'll do that after I get back from the Lions game.
And we have that Final Fantasy VII Rebirth concert.
All
coming
right.
up in a couple
Busy
weeks.
month. All right. Well, we'll see. Dirty Erdy. Hey, Beef Chiefs. Do you think Nintendo kicks up 4D, 3D, 3D3 in the Switch 2? Also, what about Dolph? Yeah, listen, there's going to be a lot of Dolph games on the Switch 2, and I do believe that they will kick up the 4D, 3D, 3D3. Give you a little bit of a hat wobble.
These. I don't know what to explain.
In Tim and Eric, Paul Rudd is
Wow.
going to kick up the 4D, 3D, 3D3 and give you a hat wobble, and you're going to be very much into
God.
Tane. Yes.
It's a Tane reference.
It's a
I'm
Tane
embarrassed
reference.
I didn't get it now. My bad.
Steph
bad.
sometimes will be like, hey, Jeff, can you kick up the 40, 3D, 3D3? And I'm like, yeah, I got you. So that plays in my head all the time. Jedi Moss 4, how many games are left for the OG Switch next year other than DK, Xenoblade, Metroid, and Pokemon? What other surprises could be in store? What if it's like nothing? What if that is it?
Nothing. I mean, some stuff might be cross play or like
Sure.
come out on both consoles if it's more stuff in line with Donkey Kong Country Returns, right?
Yeah.
I don't know how many more of those they had to put out there. There's like, like that. There's rumors of a Kirby's Planet Robobot remake that'll come out on original Switch, even if it also comes out on Switch too, right? But I mean, yeah, maybe not a ton, maybe just not a ton, and I'm okay with that. Let's move on.
Yeah,
let's get to the new thing. I'm
We're
ready.
Down. I mean, DK, sure, that's Switch. Xenoblade is probably just Switch, but I mean, Metroid Prime 4 and Pokemon both could be cross generation games very easily.
Yeah, it could be cross. They could even just be Switch 2 games, maybe.
Yeah. Josh Page, Happy New Year. I had a great time on the Discord chatting with everyone. I know you all aren't looking for recommendations, but it would make me happy if you subjected Dan to Never Dead. Horrifying pile of garbage. I feel like Dan has brought up Never Dead.
I feel like that's right.
Guys, how much do you know about this game?
I was at that Konami press conference where they talked about Never Dead quite a lot.
Is this the one where his head can roll around?
Yes.
So I know that much about it.
Actually, Dan was also at that press conference. I found out way later. So
I forgot about this game. The reviews range from official Xbox magazine giving it a 7.5 down to Destructoid giving it a 2 out of 10. And most importantly, Alex Navarro from Giant Bomb giving it 2 stars. So prime candidate.
So Alex would be up for it. Okay.
Well, yeah, and we can ask Alex if he thinks it's bad enough for it. Okay.
Right.
Interesting. All right. From Calum, first time, long time. Thanks for a great year of content, lads. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
And Calum, you said first time, long time, but it's not saying this is your first super chat. So there you go. You're already forgetting you super chatted us before.
First time, long time could mean first time in a long time.
I suppose that's what it could mean. That it's not typically what it means, but this time maybe that's what it means. Hired Sword, about to drive to work, blackjack dealer. Thanks for giving me something to listen to on the long drive, fellas. Oh, yeah, absolutely. I bet you are going to have a busy night. And I hope it's a good one. I hope you get a lot of tips. Yeah.
There you go. Good luck.
But that's all caught up on the super chats. Thanks, everybody, for writing in with those. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in and sending stuff for the podcast producers for the segment earlier. Just thanks, everybody who helps make the show go around.
Yeah. Jeff, we'll be talking about this, and I think maybe next week we can start trying to figure out the 100 best games on the Nintendo Switch.
Yeah, that sounds like a really good idea to me. I've been looking forward to that for a while. So, yeah, let's do it.
Yeah. There's some stuff. Okay, look, if Donkey Kong Country Returns and Xenoblade Chronicles X come out, we feel that strongly about them. We can throw them back in there.
Always.
But I think it's time we can start this process. I think that'll be fun.
Yeah, I think we could put together a comprehensive list at this point.
Yep. Have you been playing any Nintendo games during the holiday break here, Jeff?
One, and it's on the Trim UI brick. I've been playing SimCity for Super Nintendo, which is the SimCity that I first really, really dug. I was aware of SimCity. I think I played it at the computer lab at school or something at one point. But my friend had it for Super Nintendo, and I borrowed it from him, and I just put it in and played it all night. I got really, really into it, which it's one of those one more turns or one more year sort of kind of game at that point. And I always forget, SimCity for Super Nintendo was published by Nintendo, has a lot of Nintendo hook-ins to it. Bowser is the big kaiju that comes and destroys the city, that sort of thing. So, and there's just this extra bit of sheen on this version of SimCity. It's a really good time. So it's nostalgic and it works really good on the brick, and just kind of an easy pick up and play game for me because it's not as in depth as some later SimCities where even you're managing the plumbing system or something like that. You're not doing that here. It's just get electricity to each building and go.
Yeah, it's funny because I never played a whole ton of SimCity in my life. When I did, it was definitely PC version, so I never really checked out those that classic Super Nintendo version.
Yeah, I really do think that it holds up very well. It's if you're going to play the original SimCity, I do recommend that version as at least a one worth investigating. I'm sure it's the Zelda thing where it's hey, the one you played when you were 12 and you discovered the genre of SimCity builders is the one you're going to be super into, and that's definitely what this was for me.
Yeah, but you're not the only person I hear say
that
there's something
special
about that SimCity.
Yes,
so
it is.
I believe it.
A very well made version of SimCity for sure. But there's good people that really do prefer SimCity 2000 on whatever platform they played it on. So I get that too.
so I finished Dragon Quest 3 HE2D, and I was playing on the Wrong Ally. I was like, okay, what am I going to play now for my bedtime gaming? And I saw in the holiday sales that the Sega Ages version of Phantasy Star 1 was actually pretty cheap.
Ooh, okay.
And I was like, oh, more 8-bit JRPGs. I actually haven't had my fill of this, it turns out. I heard some good things about that version of the game. So that kind of just became the thing I played through like basically all Christmas week. And it was actually a ton of fun. Like very old school in a lot of pleasant ways. But it really is incredible just how much more vibrant the colors are on a Sega Master game as opposed to the NES style that I am used to, right?
Yep.
And I never really got to play a whole lot of Master System games, so it was fun doing that. And the Sega Ages version has some nice quality of life stuff.
Is it M2 that does Sega Ages?
So.
Okay.
Yeah, I believe so. So, like you can increase the movement speed. There's a Sega Ages mode that like both reduces the encounter rate and also increases the amount of like experience you get. So, it's not like you're falling behind because you're not getting in as many encounters as you can. They just make each encounter worth more. So it just makes the pace of the game a bit more palatable. There's also in-game menus that do things like explain what each spell does, what each item does. So that helps. But otherwise, like it's very straightforward in a delightful way. It's very clearly still. I mean, this game came out the year after Dragon Quest, and it is very much, hey, we should make our own Dragon Quest, and we'll make it stand out by making it sci-fi. That's great. That was a good idea. Game is still very charming. I was definitely still using a guide because like all those games, it is a little bit like, oh, where do I go next? It's nice just to have this nice little website saying do this, then do that, do this. I'm like, okay, if I wanted to, sure, I could go wander around and talk to people in town to figure that out. But now
just
doing
look for
it
the yellow
this way
paint.
was nice. Yeah. Oh, yellow paint discourse is back, baby. Woo! Everyone, find something more interesting to talk about next year. That's my
As soon as I
advice.
saw it in indie, I was like, fuck, here we go. It's gonna be
There's
everywhere.
white paint. Don't worry.
Oh yeah, exactly.
Yeah. No, can't fool them.
Are
But,
you gonna do the thing you do and like go to Phantasy Star 2 now? I mean, I know you played 4 recently.
I
Was
played
that
4
you?
before.
Yeah, okay.
And I was thinking about that because I did play through this whole thing. Another neat thing, by the way, is that this game does have those first-person dungeons, right? It looks like like the 3D maze thing.
Sure, yeah.
Even all these years later, again, because it's 1987, 8-bit stuff. Like, this is pretty cool from back then. I like that stuff. I thought about just going straight to 2. The thing is, the only way to play that right now is through the Sega Genesis Classic Collection that I do have on Switch and on PC. And that's how I play Phantasy Star 4. But part of me is like, maybe they'll do a Sega Ages version of that someday if I just wait. Maybe that's wishful thinking. But I am enough of a sicko that I have not had enough of RPGs. I even tried being like, no, I should play something else now. I played my first round ever of Binding of Isaac. And I was like, yeah, I get it, but I don't know. I think I still want more turn-based combat. So I booted up NSO, and I have, for probably the 7th time in my life, started Earthbound.
Oh yeah, I was thinking about doing this too. Okay, fantastic.
And like I tell you what, big shame on me if I don't finish it this time. Also, I'm pretty determined.
Are you streaming it?
I'm not streaming it,
okay.
And I kind of gave myself permission not to.
Right, sure, of course.
Streaming.
Yeah, I was just wondering.
And another thing, I'm not somebody who enjoys reading out the text in video games, right? And I'm not sure how that streaming experience is if I'm just sitting here reading text bubbles and not reading them out loud. So for like 16-bit JRPGs, I think I'd still rather just play those on my own time for the most part.
They're great to play in bed and stuff like that. So yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, this is what I'm working on now, and I'm hoping, getting big JRPG fan, big Nintendo fan. I want to get this blind spot taken care of finally. So that's something I'm working on first thing in 2024.
Cool, good deal. Yeah, I think I definitely said at the beginning of this year that I would play Mother this year, and I've not. So
I have been saying it for years myself. So this time, hopefully, I think I'm going to just do it. I'm still. It's funny because like 2024 was such a JRPG year for me, and I'm really not off that train. I'm still very much in that mindset, especially again for that cozy nighttime gaming thing that I like to do. So I think I have a lot of gas left in the tank for this right now.
Fantastic, cool. I've not been playing anything else. That's been it.
Oh, what are you doing for New Year's tonight?
We were gonna go see Moana 2. We're kind of it's not gonna work out probably actually, which is fine. We'll find another time to see that. So I don't know. I might actually just kick it here and see if the kids want to go to bed early, and I might just stream some Astro Bot speedruns or something. We'll
There
see.
you go. I was gonna, go out, and now I'm not. I'm like, I might just stream Indiana Jones. I
There you
guess, or
go,
something.
yeah.
Maybe I could find like a Nazi like looking over a ledge. I could find a frying pan, and I
Yeah.
could wait till it hits midnight, then whack him with that and let him fall over.
Perfect. Yeah, that's how you
That'd be
celebrate the
good.
new year.
Yeah, something like that, right? So, but we're planning to do Game Mess Asides on Thursday, everybody. But then that would be a normal show. Figure something else out next week. I'll go to Jeff's. Maybe Jeff will come here, and then we go to
Yeah.
Pittsburgh for Games Done Quick. I don't know. We'll talk about
That
it.
sounds like a plan.
But
Yeah.
we'll do an in-person show for our Game Mess Decides Game of the Year. So
Yep. We're looking forward to that. Mike, I'm gonna hit the button.
hit the button. By the way, everybody, me and my brothers did a joint top 10 list for Giant Bomb. That's up on giantbomb.com right now. Check out the Minotti Brothers top 10.
Yeah, shout out to Marino for all the help on that stuff. Just
Hell
getting
yeah,
a ton
Marino.
of lists put up. Thank you so much, Marino.
Thank you very much. Yes, the New Game Plus's list is up there today,
Yeah,
too,
they
I
just
believe.
posted theirs. Yeah.
Yes. Mine is
Yes.
also up.
Yeah.
Oh, yours is up too, Christian? Fantastic. Check out Christian's list.
My list will be going up in the morning.
Oh,
there you
fantastic.
go.
Okay.
All the stars are here.
Oh.
So that's great.
I think we're still missing a couple staff lists, but I'll see if I can track them down, get them all finished and everything.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the 3 of the 4 Game of the Year videos for Giant Bomb are up. When's the last one go out? Is that Thursday?
That is, what is today?
Yes. Yes, Thursday.
Thursday is when it will go up. Yes, that's
Today's
right.
Tuesday.
Yep, Thursday, so 2 days.
Fantastic. So check all that out. Thank you for a fantastic year, everybody. We're really looking forward to 2025 with you. Thank you. Love you. Bye.
Bye! Happy New Year!
Happy New Year. On Super Chat, Uriel Delgado says hypothetically Indiana Jones on Switch Game of the Year.
There you
Thank you, Uriel. I have to poop. That's some good fisting. You ever just say something and really regret it?